What's up guys, Chris at DIY Fabrications, and today we're going to talk about blow-off valves and really the blow-off valve basics. Today I kind of want to cover, what are they, how do they work, where are they on your specific car, and which blow-off valve is really right for you, depending on what you're building and what your plans are with the vehicle. And at the end we'll also kind of go over the topic of, do you really need to change it if you want to hear your turbocharger? Because that's the reason most people actually do change it. They want to hear the psh at the end. So let's do a quick dive in, and we're going to begin with just talking about the OEM blow-off valve. Alright, so what are blow-off valves? Essentially a blow-off valve is needed for any forced induction vehicle. So if you're running a turbocharger, supercharger, anything that puts positive pressure on the intake manifold, you need a blow-off valve to release that pressure when your throttle body closes. So what happens is your turbo is blowing insane amounts of air down into the intercooler piping, through the intercooler and into the charge piping into the intake manifold. When your throttle body closes, you need some way to get that pressure out, otherwise it'll back into the turbo and essentially counterspin the turbocharger and your car will bog like crazy, as well as potentially cause damage to the turbocharger. So what they have is this. This is your OEM blow-off valve, nothing crazy. And it's typically on all the WRXs and STIs located right adjacent to or on top of your intercooler, if you have a top mount. So this is the return knuckle. This actually connects to your recirculating hose, because all of the WRXs and STIs are currently, from the factory, fully recirculating blow-off valves. If you take this knuckle off, you can see inside that we have a piston inside here. Now, the pressure from the intake manifold is pushing on this underside and pushing on this little piece right here. When that throttle body closes, the vacuum from the intake manifold now allows that pressure to push up and release on that piston, and allows that to vent back into the turbo inlet. Alright, so where is the actual blow-off valve? Normally, the OEM blow-off valve would be right here. Mine is located in the same location. I've just upgraded mine to an APS blow-off valve. I do this for a couple different reasons. One, I tend to run higher boost levels, and I want something that's able to handle those higher boost levels. In addition, I wanted something that's adjustable. An adjustable blow-off valve allows you to really control when you want that blow-off valve to actually release the air. And it's pretty important to doing that when you're making adjustments to the boost levels. The OEM blow-off valve, as you can see, just has a set top on it. There's no adjustment to the spring rate there. So when I was tuning for my car, I could have just left it alone, but being able to dial it in, have some additional adjustments is really important to me and also to my tuner. So what blow-off valve is really right for you? At the end of the day, it really depends on you, your car, and what your goals are on it. If you're sticking with the standard mass airflow sensor, MAF sensor, which measures the airflow going into the engine so it delivers the right amount of fuel, you're going to want to retain some form of recirculation. Can you go atmospheric? Technically, yes. Is it going to hurt your car? No, not really, because it's not like you're under full load when it vents to atmosphere. Typically, your throttle is closed and it's not the end of the world. However, the reality is your car tends to run really rough during that vent to atmosphere because all that air that the engine was thinking would be there is gone. So essentially you're going to go super rich, then maybe super lean, almost to the point where the engine can stall. Actually, in some cases, it will stall. The other thing is do you want to be able to control that adjustment? So if you want to be able to have an adjustable blow-off valve, it's a good idea, especially if you're tuning the car, then yes, I would change out the blow-off valve. You can use the OEM one. To me personally though, I've always changed them out anytime I was doing any tuning on the car. It allows me to have more adjustability. I can make sure that valve is 100% closed at idle, so all the air is coming through the turbocharger. It's a all around, it allows me to have more control over the car, which to me is very important. Now with regards to the sound, if you're just someone who wants to have the sound and hear that blow-off valve, which hey, I get it, I'm the same way, I want to hear it. I'm a little kid in a candy shop. Every time I go down the street and I see kids stand on the corner and I let the blow-off valve go. The reality is, you don't have to do it. You can change your intake and get the exact same results. Now, the OEM one does have a very different sound. It's more of a hiss sound. The one on my car is more of a, or if you want something that most people refer to as the turkey call, is the SSQ, the HKS. Again, all of them are great options. I will say this though, don't go to eBay. do not buy some knockoff crap. When it comes to something that maintains your engine and makes sure your pressures are right, you want an original option. Whether, like I said, APS, which is no longer really sold here in the United States, and Go Fast bits. There's a whole plethora of different options out there. Like I said, my recommendation though is something that is adjustable. That way it allows you to, like I said, dial things in, make sure your idle's correct. And that's the thing is, if you are going atmospheric and your idle is all over the place, check your blow-off valve. You might have your valve wide open, which isn't good because essentially you're sucking air in from there instead of through your MAF sensor, and your car is running like crap. So I hope this helps you guys. And if you guys have any questions about it, I'm more than happy to answer them. I've run a couple different options in terms of blow-off valves. I just, with the exception of when I tried running atmospheric the one day, I've always stuck with recirculation or a dual vent. Dual vents, I think, are the best way to go, because that's my 2 cents. You guys, please put your comments, likes down in the comments below. Also, if you guys are interested, a new shirt design came out. A couple of guys have already gotten them, and I've got more to come. So check out the links down in the description below, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.